And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 5-minute rounds scheduled in the Cage Warriors featherweight division. It is being brought to you by LondonFightStore.com. Introducing first, fighting to my left out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. His official weight, 144.3 pounds. His record stands at 8 wins, 6 losses, with 3 bouts even. Hailing from Manchester, England, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Deck Kid Dynamite Williams. And his adversary fighting to my right out of the red corner. This man is a boxer and a wrestler, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall. His official weight, 145.6 pounds. His record unblemished, 4 bouts, 4 victories, coming to us from Felixstowe, Suffolk, England. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Arnold Almighty Allen. And the referee, Rich Mitchell.
So Rich, no-nonsense Mitchell shares the cage with the fighters in this bantamweight encounter. Scheduled for 3 5s, we have Deck Williams in the blue shorts with Arnold Allen in the white.
Usually a very fast, aggressive start on the feet from Arnold Allen. Of course, Deck Williams coming off 17-second win himself, so let's see how long these guys take to feel each other out here.
Southpaw stance from Allen. He has a boxing and wrestling style. Look for him to use the front kick and a flying knee, perhaps, something he's been working on.
Yeah, very athletic family for Arnold Allen. His dad's an ex-strongman and you know, MMA fighter himself. His brother is becoming a very proficient powerlifter. So a lot of strength in
nice Superman punch to set up the takedown there from Allen. So very athletic, a massive frame for just a 19-year-old as well, Josh, in really good condition.
Yeah, as you said, I've had my eyes on this kid for quite a long time, having seen him fight, you know, when he was just doing Thai boxing fights when he was sort of 15, 16, and now he's really started coming forward in his MMA career. A lot of people are really banking on him to make some people turn their heads.
Well, I've known all about Deck Williams. He actually fought my original coach, Mark Chen, all the way back in 2009. He's been around.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the guys that Deck Williams has fought. There's, you know, huge names on both the European and domestic scene there. So a lot of experience. Certainly the edge going to Deck Williams tonight.
Well, he certainly said that Allen wasn't going to offer anything that he hadn't seen before. We shall see about that. I think Arnold Allen is a very explosive young fighter.
Yeah, he's doing everything right at the moment. He's keeping his head nice and central. He's keeping his hands off the mat, trying to control the biceps. But you can see a lot of really nice attempts to cut the angles coming from Deck Williams, looking to move off to the side, get the hips out, grab under the legs. And at the moment, he's doing a lot of posture control. You see that collar tie and the wrist control there. Look for the triangle attempts. And Allen is going to have to be wary of that and explosively change his posture if he needs to.
Well, looking at some of Allen's past performances, he does have a bit of a tendency to overcommit. But that said, he has the skills to get back out of danger very quickly as well.
I think that really was what we saw in his last fight, his debut at Cage Warriors 56. Perhaps tried to come out a bit too fast and you know, had to adjust when, as you mentioned, Johnny overcommitted perhaps a bit too much in the opening exchanges.
He's been sharing fight camps with Sean Carter, who we've just discovered will be in our lightweight tournament final.
I mean, what an opportunity for him that is.
And it's such a positive move for the BKK fighters. We see in his corner Jack Mason, Dean Simmons and Jason Coolidge. All of these guys are in fight camp or have just finished. So they've all been peaking at about the same time, which has really helped. For the same, for Deck Williams, he's had the Mick Sinclair, who he's been preparing for. Mick fought earlier this evening. Great to have him back at Cage Warriors.
Really nice work with the elbows to the body and the head. And Arnold Allen with some massive forearms.
Everything he throws is like plus 100%.
Yeah, he needs to get his hands off the mat here, though, try and work them back to the biceps. But it's very good control, and the work rate is enough to keep the referee from thinking even about standing them up. A lot of people have a tendency to just kind of camp out here. But Arnold Allen is at least doing enough work when he needs to land some strikes.
Well, Williams doesn't have a great many submissions to his credit, just one on his record, which is quite surprising given that he's under the tutelage of Gav Boardman, who's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and a real pioneer of the game over in the Northeast.
Yeah, close guard at the moment. He's making a lot of good initial motions, but he's not committing fully and following through on them. And it's, you know, it's a real touch and go kind of thing, because once you get your hips out and you commit to that sweep or that submission attempt, it does leave you vulnerable for a pass. And some really good postural changes from Arnold Allen for the ground and pound.
He really explodes into it, doesn't he, Josh? I mean, he keeps such a great centre line, postures up, and literally pops up, as I think you were just about to say, but then throws down with not just one or two. He's like, I'm going to go for this, which is a bit dangerous in a way. However, he does seem to keep getting away with it.
No, it's really good work. And good sweep from Deck Williams. Arnold Allen's looking for the arming guillotine. Now he's going to try and scramble back to his feet. Got to turn into the away from the into the cage here. Try and scrape him off.
Well, he's been working on getting his back out of danger. So this is something that he's been drilling in training, and we'll see how well this clock might save him, but this is certainly a position that he thought he might find himself in.
Yeah, you can see when Deck Williams committed to attack from the bottom, he was very successful with it, and a really good position to end the round for him. Unfortunately, he spent the first 4.5 minutes having someone drop haymakers from guard on him. So, I think as we have a look at some of the replays here, Allen is probably going to take that first round. Lovely takedown.
Yeah, really nice work off of the Superman punch with that kind of wrestling arm forward, pick the leg and just drive and bully your man to the ground. And bullying was pretty much the way in which Allen just approached the rest of the fight.
Now what gave that sweep up for Deck Williams there was Allen thought, hang on a minute, his head's there, I'll look to threaten the guillotine, which is a good option when your opponent's in butterfly guard, but at that point, he'd already had his base taken away to the side, his arm was committed to the neck, had nothing to stop himself from going, and good top position earned at the end for Deck Williams.
Right, so we are just about set for round number 2, awaiting the closure of the cage door.
Let's go.
Cage Warriors 60. Remember to keep interacting with us here. hashtag CWFC60.
Good catch of the kick from Deck Williams, who's got a very good grip to finish this takedown if he can. But lovely proprioception from Arnold Allen.
Yeah, great balance, and he's able to land strikes as he was hopping his way back and trying to maintain his upright stance.
Good ankle pick from Deck Williams, who's going to look to go straight to the back, and this is perhaps where we've seen Allen be a little bit vulnerable in these scrambles. Really got to try and scrape Deck Williams off the cage here.
But he's not short of explosive activity. And if he can get some purchase on that grip, Josh, is the best way just to kind of 360 into Williams?
Yeah, it's just to really lock your hands down on that grip and then try and turn as explosively as you can. The frame, and there's the Kimura.
What a lovely way. Or you can do it like that.
You can indeed.
Right. Perfect reversal there for Arnold Allen.
Now, the issue for Allen here,
wow. That's powerful.
Yeah, problem is it's tucked very tight to the back. It's not really out at 90 degrees. It's going to be...
Well, if he can trap that arm, isolate it, he's got options for striking, but he looks to focus on it.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if he wants to just secure the position now.
Well, that was clearly one of the methods in which he was looking to defend his back. Just goes to show that drilling things in the gym, it's very relevant come fight time.
Yeah, we saw Jason Ball employ the very similar Kimura defense in his semi-final match earlier. Extremely effective for him as well. So here Allen's staying very nice and low, hips very well connected. Most importantly, he's keeping Deck Williams flat on the mat. You can see that shoulder is really turning the chin of Williams, keeping him facing away from him.
Yeah, this is a familiar position for Arnold Allen in all of his competitive fights. He tends to get into a these are heavy shots as well. I mean, he's getting some serious torque onto all of these.
Yeah, just a bit of space to allow Williams to replace that guard. And now we're very much where we spent a lot of the first round. And I'd really like to see Williams take some heart from that sweep he earned in the dying seconds of round one and commit to some actions off his back here.
So Arnold Allen's he throws in bursts. It's a bit like a TIE fighter might when they're stood up, obviously. Little flurries, then composes himself. Little flurries and then composing himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing enough work to score the damage, keep busy, but then immediately get his posture back down, just that centre line, control the biceps and just keep his position consistent. You know, a longer flurry is going to leave more space for Williams to escape. Shorter flurry is not going to do any damage.
So
you need a good fight brain for that, Josh, because while you're doing all of that activity, you've got to be very conscious of where your base is at, when to stop and when to continue when you get some momentum on these strikes.
It's clearly a very well-drilled motor pattern for the man from Colchester.
Toes out that fence.
So Arnold Allen, his dream is to be a world champion, and he'll need to keep putting together positive performances like this if he's to get there. He has a close affiliation with the Tsunami Gym, and there are plenty of crazy mixed martial artists that he can learn from down there. UFC fighters, UFC veterans, and masters of the domestic scene.
Doing a really good job again with that left arm around the head, using that to control the posture. And again, he's looking at this Kimura grip or straight arm lock. There is actually one here if you can turn the right way.
Oh, and Deck Williams looking to try and defend that by stepping over.
Oh, Arnold's got to be careful he doesn't. Yeah, let's see, that Kimura grip does leave you open to an armbar. Sitting up on an arming guillotine now.
Yeah, he's jumped on that one.
How high can he get up on the back of the chest? He doesn't look like...
Well, Williams looks fairly composed.
Doesn't look like he's in too much danger here.
That said, all it takes is a little bit of adjustment to pinch the hands together. And well, Arnold Allen has obviously aborted that one.
Oh, triangle from Allen. Really nice wrist control. And he cinched it right up. Let's see if he can create the angle.
He's got about 15 seconds to make this count.
Well, he's cranking on the head. Bit more angle to his left would really help him, but he gets the tap anyway.
He gets the tap in the dying seconds of round number 2. Almighty Arnold Allen goes 5-0 and 2-0 in Cage Warriors competition. Another great victory for this young fighter from the BKK Fight Club.
Set up that triangle so quickly, as I'm sure we'll see in the replays in a moment. Really good wrist control, popped the legs up, and didn't even need to do too much to cinch it up. Just held the head and lifted the hips high.
It's scary how much potential this young man has. Such a humble guy as well, and he's really putting together all the performances that are going to see him climb those rankings. So let's take a look at some of that action, and we can see some of Ireland's defensive work, which is always offense, I might add.
Yeah, so here was the Kimura that really started the last period of top control for Allen. Some more of the ground and pound we actually saw throughout the first round. Looked as though he may be in trouble here when he rolled for this submission, but watch how quick he adjusts for that triangle.
Yep, threw it up, cinched it up, got the tap. Fantastic work there from almighty Arnold Allen. Time to throw it back to the cage to make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 4 minutes 50 seconds of the second round. For your winner by way of tap out due to triangle choke, and still undefeated, Arnold Almighty Allen.
So congratulations to Arnold Allen. Hard luck to Deck Williams, but what a bright future for the young man from Essex.